You're sitting at your kitchen table. Coffee's getting cold. You just logged into your bank account the way you do every month to check if your Social Security hit, and it did. $1,450. You stare at that number, and then you remember something your neighbor told you last week. He waited. He didn't file until 70. His check? Over $2,500 every single month. That's more than $1,000 more than you for the exact same program, the exact same government benefit. And the worst part? You can't go back. That decision you made at 62, it's permanent. Or is it? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you could be the most important 12 minutes you spend this year. I'm Edward, I'm a senior policy analyst, and I have spent years helping retirees just like you understand the rules that the government doesn't always make easy to follow. And today I need to talk to you about the single most expensive decision in retirement. Not your mortgage, not your medical bills, when you choose to file for Social Security. Because right now in 2026, millions of Americans are making this decision out of fear. And that fear is costing them tens of thousands, and in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetime. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact rules straight from the Social Security Administration's own website. I'll show you the real numbers for 2026. I'll explain the traps that catch good, smart people off guard. And I'll give you 3 specific steps you can take to protect yourself. But please, I need you to stay until the end. Because there is a hidden protection built into Social Security law that almost nobody talks about. And it could save you even if you've already filed early. Let's get into it. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 62 years old, lives outside of Tampa with his wife Linda. He worked 34 years in logistics management, good career, paid into Social Security every single year. Last fall, Robert started seeing the headlines. Social Security running out of money. Trust fund could be empty by 2034. Millions could lose benefits. He watched the news, he read the articles, and he got scared. So one morning, Robert sat down and filed for Social Security. At 62, the earliest possible age. He figured, get it while you can, lock it in. If the government's going to cut it, at least he'd already have his foot in the door. His first check arrived, $1,512 a month. He felt relieved. For about 3 weeks. Then Robert's brother-in-law, who's the same age, told him he was waiting until 67. His projected benefit, $2,160, and if he waited until 70, over $2,600. Robert did the math on a napkin. The difference between his check and what he would have gotten at 70 was over $1,000 a month. Over a 20-year retirement, that gap adds up to more than $180,000. But that wasn't the worst part. Robert was still doing some consulting work on the side, earning about $32,000 a year. And because he filed early while still working, Social Security started withholding part of his benefit because he was over the 2026 earnings limit. And then in April, he got a letter from the IRS because his consulting income combined with his Social Security pushed him over the tax threshold. Suddenly, 85% of his Social Security was being taxed as income. Robert didn't just get a smaller check. He walked into a triple penalty, a reduced benefit, withheld payments, and a tax bill he didn't see coming. And all of it started because he made one decision based on fear instead of facts. Now, I don't want you to feel sorry for Robert. I want you to learn from Robert. Because what happened to him is happening to millions of Americans right now. And I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen to you. All right. Let's look at exactly what the Social Security Administration says. No rumors, no opinions, just the official rules for 2026. Fact number 1. Your full retirement age is 67. If you were born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. That's the age where you get 100% of your benefit, what the SSA calls your primary insurance amount. Now here's where it gets critical. Fact number 2, Filing at 62 cuts your benefit by 30% permanently. The Social Security Administration uses a precise formula. For the first 36 months you claim early, your benefit is reduced by 0.05% per month. For any additional months beyond that, the reduction is 0.05% per month. If you file at 62 with a full retirement age of 67, that's 60 months early. The total reduction is exactly 30%. You get 70 cents on the dollar, and that reduced amount becomes your base for life. Every future cost of living adjustment is calculated on that smaller number. And if your spouse is claiming a spousal benefit at 62, their benefit drops from 50% of your full amount all the way down to 32.5%. That's a huge reduction for your household. Fact number 3, waiting until 70 gives you a 24% bonus. For every year you delay past 67, the SSA adds 8% to your benefit. That's called a delayed retirement credit. Wait 3 years from 67 to 70, and your monthly check is 24% higher than your full benefit. And that boost is also permanent. Fact number 4, the real dollar difference in 2026. Let me show you the official numbers. These come directly from the SSA's website, updated in January 2026. For a maximum earner retiring in 2026, the monthly benefit is $2,969 if they claim at 62, $4,152 at 67, and $5,181 at 70. That's a difference of $2,212 per month between filing at 62 and filing at 70. That's over $26,000 a year. Now, most of us aren't maximum earners, so let's look at the average. The SSA says the average monthly retirement benefit in January 2026 is $2,071. If that average worker had filed at 62 instead of 67, they'd be getting roughly $1,450. If they waited until 70, roughly $2,568. The gap between 62 and 70 for an average worker is about $1,118 per month. Fact number 5. Over a lifetime, this gap can exceed $182,000. According to the SSA's own life expectancy calculator, a 65-year-old man today can expect to live to about 84, a woman to about 87. Using AARP's break-even analysis, if you claim at 62 instead of 70 and you live into your mid-80s, you will collect significantly less total money over your lifetime. For a higher-than-average earner, that gap can reach $182,000 or more when you factor in the compounding effect of cost of living adjustments applied to the larger benefit. AARP puts it plainly. Waiting until age 70 results in a benefit check that is about 77% higher than what the same person would receive at age 62. Fact number 6. Why people are panic filing and why the panic is the real danger. Here's what breaks my heart. An AARP poll from August 2025 found that 49% of Americans who filed early or were thinking about it said they did so because they heard Social Security is running out of money. But here's what the Social Security Administration actually says. The program is funded by a continuous stream of payroll taxes from current workers. The trust fund surplus is projected to run short by 2034. But even if Congress does absolutely nothing, benefits would still be paid at about 81% of scheduled amounts. Reduced? Yes. Eliminated? No. So let's do the math together. The worst-case government cut, if the trust fund runs dry, about 19%. The cut you impose on yourself by panic filing at 62? 30%. Let me say that again. You are giving yourself a bigger cut than the government's worst-case scenario out of fear. That's the trap. That's the fact number 7. If you work and collect early, there's an earnings penalty too. In 2026, if you're under full retirement age, and earning more than $24,480 a year, Social Security withholds $1 for every $2 you earn over that limit. In the year you reach 67, the limit goes up to $65,160, and they withhold $1 for every 3 over the limit. Now here's the good news that most people miss. Those withheld benefits are not lost. Once you reach full retirement age, the SSA recalculates your benefit and gives you credit for the months that were withheld. But in the meantime, your check shrinks, and it causes real stress and real confusion. And don't forget taxes. Per the IRS, if your combined income, which is your adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest plus half of your Social Security, is above $34,000 for a single filer, up to 85% of your Social Security can be taxed. The SSA's own retirement booklet says about 40% of beneficiaries pay income taxes on their benefits. And if you're collecting early while still working, you're much more likely to be in that group. That's the triple penalty Robert walked into: reduced benefit, withheld payments, and a tax bill on top of it all. Okay, now that you understand the rules, let me give you 3 specific steps you can take right now to protect yourself. Step 1. Log into your My Social Security account and review your personalized estimate. Go to ssa.gov My Account. If you don't have an account yet, create one. It's free. It takes about 10 minutes. Once you're in, you can see your projected benefit at 62, at 67, and at 70 based on your actual earnings history. Do not make a decision worth hundreds of thousands of dollars based on a headline or a conversation with a neighbor. Look at your own numbers first. Step 2. If you already filed early and it's been less than 12 months, you may be able to undo it. This is the hidden protection I promised you at the beginning. The Social Security Administration has a form called the SSA 521, Request for Withdrawal of Application. If it has been less than 12 months since you first became entitled to benefits, you can withdraw your application. You will need to repay all the benefits you've received, but once you do, the SSA treats it as though you never filed. The clock resets completely, and you can refile later at a higher age for a higher benefit. You can only do this once in your lifetime, but it exists, and most people have no idea. And there's a second option. If you've already passed the 12-month window, but you've now reached your full retirement age, you can request a voluntary suspension of your benefits. No form required. You can do it orally or in writing. While your benefits are suspended, you earn 8% per year in delayed retirement credits, and your benefit grows until it automatically restarts at age 70. There are trade-offs. Your spouse's benefits on your record will also be suspended. You'll need to pay Medicare Part B premiums out of pocket. But for many people, this is absolutely worth it. Step 3. If you're delaying Social Security past 65, enroll in Medicare separately. This is the mistake that catches people completely off guard. If you decide to wait until 67 or 70 to file for Social Security, which may be the smart move, you still need to sign up for Medicare at 65. Social Security and Medicare are 2 different programs. And if you miss the Medicare enrollment window, the penalty is brutal. For every full 12-month period, you delay Medicare Part B enrollment without qualifying coverage from a current employer, you pay a 10% surcharge on your premium, and that surcharge stays with you for life. In 2026, the standard Part B premium is $202.90 per month. A 3-year delay would add over $60 a month to that premium. Permanently, that's over $730 a year in completely avoidable costs. The SSA says it clearly. If you decide to delay your benefits until after age 65, you should still apply for Medicare benefits within 3 months of your 65th birthday. Don't let a smart Social Security decision turn into an expensive Medicare mistake. Now, I need to be honest with you about something. The rules I just explained to you, they could change. Congress is debating Social Security reform right now. Earnings limits get adjusted every year. Medicare premiums shift. Tax thresholds that haven't been updated since 1993 could finally be revised. And here's the problem. YouTube might not show you my next video. You know how it works. You subscribe, you hit the bell, and then the algorithm decides whether or not to put it in your feed. That's not good enough when we're talking about your financial security. So here's what I've done. I've created a free resource for you. It's called the Global Senior Alerts Official WhatsApp channel, and I want you to join it today. When you join, you'll be able to download a free senior benefits protection guide. It covers Social Security claiming strategies, Medicare enrollment deadlines, the tax traps we talked about today, and the exact forms you need if you need to withdraw or suspend your benefits. And more than that, you'll receive real-time alerts whenever there's a change to Social Security rules, pension laws, bank regulations, insurance policies, or senior travel rules that could affect you or someone you love. The link is right there in the description below this video. It takes 30 seconds to join, and it's completely free. Now let me leave you with this. The biggest danger facing retirees in 2026 isn't the government cutting your benefits. It's making a permanent decision based on temporary fear. Social Security is not going away. The program has been paying benefits since 1940. It is funded by the wages of 180 million working Americans. And even in the absolute worst-case scenario, over 80 cents of every dollar you've been promised will still be there. But if you file at 62 because you panicked, you are locking in a 30% cut for the rest of your life. And no act of Congress can undo that. So please, before you file, check your numbers. Understand your options. Use the protections that already exist. And share this video with someone you care about. A spouse, a sibling, a friend from church. Because the person who needs to hear this the most is probably not going to find it on their own. I'm Edward. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget, that link in the description could be the most important link you click this year. Take care of yourself. You've earned it.